User joined your channel.
Welcome back. My question is, and that's the only thing I'm not sure about, if there are 9 people in the queue, does it take it in chronological order? As in, if I was in the queue first, does it exclude the guy that just tries to get in?
I don't know. Really, I don't know. Were you the first in it? Well, I think you were.
I joined like near instant. I think it took me 1 second or 2 seconds at best to get in. So if it really is that it's a chance, as in of us two getting in at the same time, so there is a chance, then I want to discuss right now already what we want to do in case either you or me don't get in on the next try.
If I don't get in, it's okay. Okay, well I'll keep up in the stream, and if something happens, I can intervene that way. But I'm not. I don't think anything will happen anyway. If you don't get in, well, I'll just get my stream up, and I can send you the stream, or I don't know how you do it, but we can manage something out. I don't know what, but we'll manage something. I'm just gonna start the video, and maybe I'll just record, and then that's what we'll do. I'll record, and then you can post it and comment it on playback.
That sounds fine as well. Let's just hope, for the sake of argument, that I just get in.
Yeah.
Would make my life so much easier. And I mean, really, so much easier.
And it's always more exciting when you watch something live, and
no spoilers.
Exactly.
Hate spoilers. But yeah,
so we can enter right away then. Go for it.
I'm in.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
There's 4 people in right now.
Yep, I just asked everybody to join.
That's a very odd number to have 4 people in, since it was... Oh, now we have 8. Okay.
Let's just hope we're not getting this 9th again.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it anyways.
Yep.
Well, it's not 100% true. It was said if griefing or trolling was to happen, then they would just create a specific room for us to operate in.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to have that out there for the people. The devs are, actively trying to help us and contribute, and kind of just make sure the tournament goes well. So I do really want to give a big thank you for towards them for that. I really appreciate that, and knowing how much effort some of the guys have put in to actually get this tournament on the road, it's much appreciated from them as well. With that said, I sincerely hope we can get another 2 minutes without anyone joining.
Let's cross fingers.
A lot of fighting happening, by the way, in Group H. As in, they're really going for it.
Yeah.
I mean, today 2 matches. Tomorrow they're gonna have 2 more matches.
Indeed. Ocean teams are really eager to fight. The other Ocean team has fought already too, so they like fighting.
I'm like, if Ugly is already capable of fighting the early battle, they might be able to get one of the other ones in as well. But it's always a big
I think
gamble.
I think one of the ugly team members lives in UTC plus 11 or something. So
Oh God.
it may be a little hard. You know, sometimes they pick things, but he's supposed to, I don't know, wake up very early or something like that. Or
Mhm. Yeah.
but everybody's pretty committed to
9
to
people
the
again.
tournament.
It's 9 people again. Do you know the name of the guy who joined last round?
I can't remember. It was Le.
Well,
What's his name again?
we'll just see if it's the same guy, and we'll figure something out if it is the same guy. Because it will just be purely for the sake of trolling. Last 30 seconds, then join. I hope I don't get excluded. I'm in, and you're in.
I'm in. I'm in. Everybody's in. Good.
Okay. Okay, I'm very happy, and I'm very happy that we're both in. Saves a lot of hassle. And to the guy that wanted to snipe this this match, well, it's not particularly kind, is it? But yeah.
I'm guessing one more restart would have probably gotten Svino mad or something. Would have
Oh, not just him. It would have gone
Not
me
just him.
tilted.
been indeed.
Alright, I'd say just ask if everyone's happy with the spawning position. I can see the Swedes are perfectly lined up, so their answer is gonna be most definitely yes. Alright, that's a yes from both teams. Then I say give them the start. No, yeah, they said they're happy with the position, so just let them go. Just say start. Let them go. If they weren't happy, I reckon they would have filed a complaint. My English is suffering a bit.
I rather ask them, you know, to be sure because they're separated. So
You're very polite. You're very polite. Well, it can actually work in your advantage to some extent as well, right?
it can. That's why I asked, but it could.
And again, a full-on Kair at the PODW team, going over to the oceans. And it's still a full Kair loadout. So I expect to see the same thing we saw last round. The only difference is the teams have literally flipped around in their position. Alright guys in chat, place your bets, Oceans or PODW?
That's a hard bet.
Yup. You can see though that what the thing PODW, it's a pirate clan, right? Yeah, they're a pirate clan.
It is.
They're just going for the reunification first. It seems like the Ocean group is going trying to at least contest or just get the win by default. The pirates aren't really contesting that.
Which can be a problem because they have carronades. So I wonder what's going to happen then.
Indeed. Very interesting though. If I have to think about the speed of the ships. I think a Belpool is just like a tiny bit slower by default than a Trincomalee is.
Belpool with copper plating, if it's in oak, I would suspect them to be in live oak in fact, but if it's in oak, it can easily with a copper plating go and a speed go to 12.7, 12.8, something like that.
That's
It's
very
quite
decent.
fast.
That's very decent.
This engagement is almost a copy paste of the one we started again, it seems.
Yeah, the question is, like you see PODW, they're going for the attack, right? They're anticipating the ocean guys to sail behind them and then on the turn of the attack get the right broadside in, but it seems they're not actually gonna go through, or they're at least hesitated of sorts. Svino taking very light damage, and Ram getting a full-on Tring carronade broadside in return. He has
Dinark
felt that. Sorry.
No, my bad. Dinark got pretty much stuck in it, and I think he did a good thing, not going broadside to broadside with those two.
Salzi actually had random fire on, and as a result he shot his own teammate.
Did he?
Yep, he shot a few rounds into Sveno.
Okay.
Wait, does he have a skin on that Cerberus? Or is that just me?
He has.
Oh.
Cerberus is supposed to be green.
Oh, fancy. For the people on the stream, watch. This is pretty. Alright, let's get back to the battle. Sweden is taking a bit of focus fire from the enemies around him. Salsi's just trying to correct, but he has a rigging shock going on due to the snuggle they had. Lost his bowsprit. I think Svino's just gonna try and take some of the broadsides on the nose. Alex and Varjak are kind of interrupting each other's maneuver by their position, which allows him, Svino, to get a broadside off on Ram. But it seems his cannons aren't yet reloaded. Tom's in hot pursuit, and Salsi a bit at range, maybe trying to stay away from the major damage of the close combat brawl. But Svino just needs to ensure that he isn't gonna take all the damage at this stage.
I didn't see he took such a beating.
Yeah, it was the last few broadsides, and I think if Alex is gonna turn left and he can maybe lob some shots over, yep, he indeed is, with a bit of friendly fire. He managed to reach Svino as well. But in the meantime, Ram is taking a proper broadside by Toms, and if Svino dares to steer right, which is a very dangerous maneuver since the broadside of Varjak is opening up, would cost him dearly. But it seems like Svino actually didn't go for a broadside on Ram, meaning he wants to save it for Alex? Question mark. Irregardless, Tom seems to be stuck in irons with a surprise, kinda dry humping his ship. In the meantime, Salsi's just closing in on Alex to assist Sveno, who is taking at this point more than half of his side structure as damage. That's quite extensive. Seeing this, one almost wonders if we're gonna see the first boarding action, but it seems the dry humping has ended in a bit of an anticlimax.
It's getting pretty messy.
It is. It is time for Salsi to get in the brawl, because Svino is almost completely shattered on his right, with no force. No, it doesn't look like he's able to shield his right side anytime soon. Because I assume the PODW guys, Varjak and Ram, are just gonna try and turn right even more. Toms is still recovering from his snuggle party there, and Salsi is just taking it easy.
I thought Varjax was gonna turn in and try to get Svino's right side, but
Same here.
they stick to their plan. They keep their line strong, and
I'm not sure what they're doing, to be honest. Svino really could use a break at this point, and it's not like he's doing so much damage to the enemies that it's, you know, it's being compensated by something. Alex is nearly full, same goes for Varjak, and even Ram has more than half of his side structure still intact. But in the meantime, Svino has both sides absolutely trashed.
maybe he doesn't want to go in the wind, but he's gonna have to at some point, or he's gonna get wrecked.
They can't lose one of the Trings right now. If the Swedes lose, the Ocean Crew lose the Swede. Damn it! If the Ocean Crew, yeah, thank you. If the Ocean Crew loses one of their Trings, I think it's gonna be game set match. They just don't have the firepower to sustain.
Indeed. Well, thing is, PODW manage a fight versus Ingermanland, and if they did manage that with Belpools, they won't have any, hard time thinking one Trincomalee and a Cerberus alone. So Zvino needs to stay alive for the time being.
Do you think it might be a third drink that Svino's using? Because if you see how much damage he actually absorbs, the angles at which...
I don't know. It would be really ballsy to get in a tournament and in against PODW with a with a fear trink, but you never know. I would expect it to be an oak one, maybe, or a tech one.
Well, it would be strange because you already pack a carronade loadout yourself, meaning you intend to go short range, right?
True.
You intend to get in the thick of the fighting, and it would be strange if, knowing that you want to be in the thick of the fighting, you just take, and I'm not trying to be demeaning, but you just take fur. I mean, fur has its perks, it most definitely does. It's just, alternatively, it could just be extremely well placed broadsides, and Sveno's just very unlucky, and it makes it look like it's a fur trinker. And the return broadside he gives on ram is decent. And I mean very decent. It also looks like Salzy is going to have fun with Alex. That's very interesting. For the people interested, a broadside weight of a Belpool with carronades is 568. And a Cerberus with carronades is 416. So actually there isn't that much difference in the broadside weight. So if Salzy would feel very funky, you could actually try and engage Alex on his own for a while. Maybe giving Svino and Toms a moment to potentially knock out Ram, or at least get Svino back in the fight. By the looks of it, Svino hasn't popped his repair yet either, which is a very good sign. A very good sign.
Yeah, they may still have something to do with, but I wonder what Ram is doing. Is he trying to board or something?
I think he's merely trying to slow Svino down and maybe enable himself to get a few shots in. Because Tom seems to gonna go after Varjak. Why is Tom's not going after Ram? Do you think Svino's just a sacrifice?
I don't know. I'm wondering. It's a strange move, but they need to do. If they want to win now, they're gonna have to do to be unpredictable and do things we wouldn't expect them to do. So maybe they're trying something we're not catching here. Svino boarding would probably, he has more men, so he could do something with that, but
maybe it's a bait. As in, Salzy just went after Alex, and Alex isn't looking, completely fly at this point anymore. And if you look at how Tommy's doing against his Varjak opponent, I'd say Tommy's not doing poor either.
Yeah, indeed. And Salzy's coming back, leaving Alex burning behind.
Which I assume he's going to put out straight away.
I think so too.
I can't even see a burn marking, so that's quite obvious. It's interesting to see. Sveno's pulling back, but Salzy looks like he's going straight in there after Ram. My best guess would be that Salzy's going to try and force a repair on Ram, while Sveno is giving himself a break.
Sveno got a lot of repairs in.
He did lose quite some crew by the stern raking done by Ram a minute ago.
He did.
Quite efficient. In the meantime, Tom seems to have a bit of trouble with that Belpool on his arse. If he manages to get his right broadside in on Varjak, he can pull the side structure score somewhat even.
Your channel.
And it seems like this is gonna be that broadside, which actually turns out to be quite nice. And indeed, Salzy is going after Ram. Very well played. That's good. If Sveno can either try to lure Alex away or you know, give Salzy the room to work Ram over, I think it's hard to actually achieve. But if they do, that actually allows Tom to go on a 1v1 with Varjak.
Well, at that time, Salzy is firing at Alex, in fact, not at Ram.
Oh, really?
He is letting Ram go, so they're trying to isolate, or are they going back for Toms? I think mainly Zvino is trying to survive. He's trying to prevent Alex from getting back on him and shredding him with his carronades.
I think that's a fair observation. Tom's in the meantime is just slowly, precisely trying to strip the stern armor away from Varjak. And I think Sweden... Oh, look at that. Look at this. Ram actually fell behind in his maneuver to catch a break. And if Svino can get his right broadside up and Salzy can catch up with his friend over there, then they're gonna have a 3 versus 2 situation. Oh,
Indeed.
this is exciting. Also, Ram has lost his bowsprit and they're sailing at a very steep angle. No,
He is having a hard time catching up.
here goes Svino's broadside into Alex, and it does proper damage. That's 15 to 20% of that side armor gone, but Tom seems to be taking a severe beating in the one-on-one engagement with Varjak.
Yeah. Trincomalee versus Belpool, who would expect such a result, but it's quite a... They're both in carronade, right?
Yeah, indeed they are.
Oh.
You can actually see the trade-off is... You have to think that the broadside weight of a Tring is like almost 1.5 times as heavy, but if you look at the damage output, you're just sitting there and thinking, no, they're shooting exactly the same. Because the damage is similar, even though the Tring even has more side structure.
You know what? I think it was what we were talking about earlier, meaning the Trink has a lot of heal, and healing with carronades can be really tricky.
Yeah.
If the Belpool is just stuck to you and you are healing on his side, you'll be unable to hit him. The Belpool will see all the guns go above her, and she'll be able to shoot at you. So
I'm just very impressed at this point in time with durability. Tom's did get off a very good broadside on Varjak, so that cuts the Ocean Crew some slack. The rudder on Alex has been taken out, which probably isn't... he immediately popped emergency repairs, that's very good. Svino is still getting pummeled left, right and center. Nothing has changed there, and I'm wondering why... Look, Salty has two options at this point. He can either go forward and chase Varjak and assist Toms, who could use some assistance, and if you can force Varjak into repair, that's 1 repair down, right? 2 versus 1, that's perfect. But his other option, and which is what he seems to be doing right now,
is going for Ram.
Exactly, he can knock Ram out of the fight if he does it well.
But I wonder why Ram still hasn't repaired his sails. In fact,
that's a good question.
A surprise is great because it goes upwind like no other boat. Well, I mean, no other square rigger, and he's losing a lot of his advantage by not repairing this bow sail.
I agree. I think you phrased it up perfect. Nothing to add. I mean, it's not like they're gonna go for his sails in this time in the battle. I mean, look at the side structures. It's not even worth it at this point. So why don't... Yeah, you said it correctly. And I'll try to smooth the camera a bit more. Tom's in the meantime still forced to having his left towards Varjak. Then again, Varjak was until now forced to have his weak side. They're both going to turn away from each other and probably re-engage. And Tom has decided that he wants to make the same turn. Alright. In the meantime, Svino is clashing or snuggling, I should say. No, not snuggling. He's going for a proper
User
stern
joined
rake
your
on
channel.
Alex. Result of which is quite evident. Few crew loss, maybe a few cannons. Didn't see if he actually lost one. In the meantime, how is Salzy doing? Because that's the main question right now. If the little Cerberus that can knock out that surprise.
He's doing okay, and I was wondering, maybe he's not repairing that to bait that Salzy out of the fight, because Salzy is, well, he's okay at the moment, and him out of the fight of the two others may be a good thing for PODW. They're actually trading an almost dead ship for a almost full, well, not full, but you know, a Cerberus
fairly healthy.
current. Yeah,
I think
it's a good trade.
irregardless, I think this is a very close battle, because they have Salzy, who's capable of maybe, I wouldn't say finishing off, but in 2 or 3 broadsides, I think he'll be able to get Ram into a position where he won't be able to properly brawl anymore. Tom still has his repair, so that's good. He's currently taking on Alex, which will probably mean he'll have only 5 to 10% left of his side armor, and Alex still at a comfortable 35-ish%. Spheno's low, but Varjak, and that's the prize I think they're going for, and this is the punishment Tom is about to receive.
Oh yeah. Tom's
Va-
hasn't repaired yet,
No.
has he? Okay.
No. It seems like on this remote battlefield, that's what I'd like to call it, you can see that Salty's not doing bad, but Ram is not going down without a fight.
Indeed.
But it's close. Tom still has his repair, which he can use. Spheno doesn't. But theoretically, the ocean guys can play time if they were to sail towards the enemy surprise, right? Make use of the heel while sailing at a steep angle at the wind. Shoot the carronades. Maybe go for some sail or long distance haul with that penetration. Would be quite a good tactic. And in the meantime, just trust on Salzy to do his job and force the enemy surprise towards your own Trincomelies. Because if you look from where Salzy is going, Ram is just going towards Tommy in a direct line.
He is, but I would be careful if I was Salzy not to get, stuck with those 2 bell pools behind. He could take quite a beating easily.
True. The downside for the PODW guys is that Varjak has an extremely low right side,
Indeed.
which currently is pointing towards Salzy.
Indeed.
And I would not be surprised if the ocean crew is playing for time at this point. Because Salzy's doing fine against Ram. Maybe not that last broadside, but we'll just pretend that didn't happen. It's taking a mediocre broadside in return. I think this is going to be very interesting. Spheno is shooting at range at Alex. Alex shooting at range at Spheno, and everything is just going in. That's the thing with carronades. If they reach you, they penetrate you nearly always. They're deadly at these kind of ranges. This is short to medium range.
Well, most of the time when you can equip carronades, there are something like almost twice as big as your regular gun you're supposed to fit on that slot. So indeed it's a huge ball you're throwing at your enemy.
Tom's at the moment, I thought he would have his right broadside ready to send Ram to Davy Jones, but Tom still hasn't repaired. He's doing a nice maneuver in which he sails backwards. He's going for the tag now. He's gonna link up with Salzy, and I think Salzy is gonna lead the charge at this point. I think Spheno is gonna be diversion, maybe to lure Varjak away. And they're gonna try and either go after Ram. They have to go after Ram or Varjak. Like, Alex does have some side structure left, and you just want to get some of the spare broadsides in on Alex, but in the meantime you want to do whatever is within your might to get to Ram or Varjak. Because Ram at this point is just the equivalent of Spheno.
Yeah.
HP wise.
Yeah, indeed.
The only difference is I know that Sveno has repaired and Ram hasn't.
And Tom's is still not repairing.
Then he has like a very large stack of pump-related modules. Sveno going for a broadside point blank on Ram, and it's doing proper damage. But he's gonna take one in return, which is almost assuring he's gonna sink in a minute. He's gonna get caught up by Alex at this point, who can take a return broadside. He's not afraid of taking it. Salzy puts one in the stern of Ram. I'd be surprised if that ship doesn't sink.
Alex is catching up. This is gonna be messy.
This is gonna be the execution of Sveno. The question is, can Sveno do enough damage in the meantime to just get Ocean in a position where they can maintain? Because the bow chasers of Tom's alone can kill Ram at this point if he doesn't repair.
Yeah.
Look at Sveno. Look at Sveno. You see his left broadside is almost reloaded because he's keeping his speed, but he's not denying the engagement. And his left broadside is indeed loaded. Turn left, Sveno. Turn left with all your might and give Alex a proper broadside. I think Sveno might have been turning too late, because these might just bounce straight off. Sound like bouncing off.
He got a few ones in, but
the rudder is out, which is actually quite interesting. If Alex doesn't have his emergency repair, he's just going to be sailing out of the battlefield for now. But it seems he did have his emergency repair, sadly for the Ocean crew. But Varjak has just received a broadside by Toms, who still, as a very stubborn Swedish guy, is just unwilling to repair his ship. IKEA quality, you don't even need to repair. In the meantime, Ram is taking fire, and if I was interpreting his waterline correctly, I'd say he's also taking water.
this
Not
is
much.
a really interesting match. Look at Ram. Ram is
Wow.
completely out of armor. Has nothing left.
But Ram is repairing at this point, but if you have no armor on wait, is he? No, he isn't repairing.
He isn't.
I thought I saw HP appearing on his stern, but that was still HP he had left. Or maybe just my graphic glitch. Irregardless, the Ocean crew are looking quite well. And no, Ram is repairing now. Where isn't he? Or is it still a graphic bug? No,
Oh,
he is repairing.
He is repairing.
He is.
That's it.
Irregardless, they're doing fine. They now have 3 of their guys against Alex alone. Varjak is in the distance, also refusing to repair, but he has one broadside that's completely down. Ramjack, even in best case scenario, is not going to be looking fly in a few minutes. He's not sitting that high off the water. I'm not going to claim that he's filling up, but he's for sure not empty either. In the meantime, Salzy's doing a bit of the damage tanking against Alex. And if Toms can just go in and get his weak side again on Alex without sinking, that man deserves a freaking medal for this sailing. I'm very impressed with how long he's capable of keeping his cool in this engagement. Salzy needs to be careful though not to take too much damage.
Oh, Sveno is going down. He is getting water pretty fast.
In all the excitement, I missed that. That is the first disadvantage for the Ocean signed in crew, because that's how they signed in as Ocean, is doing. Varjak has popped his repair, Tom still hasn't. And in the far distance, Ram is just casually sailing away. But still not full with mass HP and sail percentage. So the question is, what are the Swedish guys going to do? Because I assume they just have to knock someone out, and then theoretically they can have it run on the draw. Because now they
It
have to.
depends. They just lost a Trincomalee, so
True.
they need to get sufficient BR down to be able to make this draw. And I'm not sure a Belpool will be sufficient, because a Belpool is 180 and they need 200.
Well, pool would indeed not be sufficient. You're correct. This is very interesting. Yeah, Varjar is repairing his sails. I'd almost wonder if the Danes are just gonna leg it. As in, well, we kill one of yours, you have to kill two of us. Bye.
Pirates, you mean? Yeah, indeed.
Sorry, did I say Danes?
You did.
My bad, I indeed mean pirates. It's just the red above the names that just makes and the reddish flag.
It seems they are indeed doing, well, quite some kiting.
But they have
Don't want to risk it.
they have Salzjord in pursuit. But if they really were kiting, right? If they were just gonna blatantly deny combat, they wouldn't send in Ram close quarter. It
True.
just seems like they're both. If you look at a bit further down, it seems like Ram is forming the center, and both of the Bell pools are just now turning back towards the center, whilst the Ocean crew are just going after Alex, who has repaired at this point and is looking extremely healthy.
Yeah, that's why I don't quite understand why they went for Alex. Did Varjak pop his repair or not yet?
Verjax did repair, yeah.
So yeah, they probably would have had a better run going for Varjak, but thing is, the way Toms was able to survive with no broadside for 10 minutes, I would be very scared about him, because
Yep.
he just popped his repair now, and you're gonna have to, well, get all his armor out, and he will be still able to float for a couple of minutes. So
Very correct observation. The PODW guys still have to survive for at least. Well, I think the match started at 25, don't they? 125, or do
Yep.
they start at 130? I think they start at 120. Oh,
they
Come on.
almost started at 130.
actually
it-
outside the battle zone. 1 second, I'll be very shortly back in the fight. Just need to ensure that I can still see ship HP, therefore it's quite useful if I don't die.
Salzi is going for Varjag. There's and Tom's is alone facing
Perfect.
Alex. So
That's not good. As you saw, the initial engagement between the two Toms
yeah,
did get some proper damage in, but he got absolutely clubbered well in return. I do dare say that the play Tom's made in this battle was extremely impressive. Just staying afloat for such a long time without any side armor. It gives the Ocean crew hope that if they can take out Ramjacks maybe with a stroke of luck, and Alex, well, yeah, didn't see that happening anytime soon.
well, Ramjack actually, Ram Dinark, sorry, is finishing off Tom's left broadside.
Mm-hmm. Tom's
Tom's
left
is-
broadside is loaded, so if Tom's is willing, he could theoretically just go after Ram. And that's what he's gonna do, yeah. Good call, Tom's. Good call. In the meantime, we see Salzi having a lot of trouble getting Varjax to the brink of destruction. Varjax easily capable, especially if you're gonna turn circles around each other to keep his strong and still well structured left side towards the enemy.
And he's in 100% sales as Salzi is 88. So
Yep, the superior speed or turning of a Cerberus will be effectively negated. You see Salzi making up the equation in his head and deciding, yeah, it's not worth it, I need to go to my friend in need. Tom's in the meantime taking quite a lot of fire, raked left, right and center. The question is, can he just knock out one of them? Because it will still be an impossible task for just Salzi alone, but seeing how long, as you mentioned, Tom can survive on his own, it'll
thing
be...
is, yeah, but thing is, for the time being, PODW have no threat whatsoever.
Nope.
I mean, if they take a beating, they just sail away and come back, and each time Ocean team and start doing something good, they just sail away and come back, and there's nothing Ocean can do about that.
I must say, of all the matches I've seen, I think this one's by far could have been the closest one of all. That's
I
how
think it
I should
is.
phrase it. I
Indeed.
mean, the entire enemy team has expanded their repairs. The enemy team, from my point of view, it's the enemy team has expanded the repair. Our team has expanded the repairs. It's close. I mean, Alex is the healthiest of their team. Not by far though, because Varjek has a strong left side, but a weaker-ish right side. Salzy's doing alright, but at the end of the day, he's only a Cerberus, right? He can't move mountains. In the meantime,
Yeah.
Tom's is too low to properly engage. I think a few leaks will just cause him to sink, and I think the leaks itself, or the water intake, were the initial reason why you popped this repair. Irregardless, they have to sink Ram to make it at least somewhat of a fair fight. Then hope that Toms can maintain the water influx for a short period. Because Salsi can do it, he just needs to get his strong right side towards Ram when he's gonna face him.
Actually, both their pools are quite, back in the fight. So, well, back, I mean, backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're quite remote. Mm-hmm.
They could do something. The Ocean Clan could do something. Try and get Ram. But
Ram is taking damage, and I think if Salzi is capable of getting a broadside in, they can sink him. I don't question that. The problem is then that Salzi doesn't have the HP to actually kill one of the enemies. The perk is, however, if they can survive for another 10 minutes, they can actually just make it a draw, which might be the best play for the Ocean crew right now. Knock out Ram. Oh, wait. I thought it actually went on ship count. I know you mentioned BR, but it's
I think it's supposed to be BR. Maybe I misunderstood, but I think it's supposed to be BR. But maybe it got changed at the last minute. We'll check after that.
in that case, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but we'll find out later anyways. They have to sink Ram first. It's interesting though. If it is the way I describe it, where it's just based on ship count, because I can understand that ship count might be a bit fairer than just battle rating to in certain, views, then again I can also understand if you say doing it just by ship count is quite unfair, because you can just sink a Cerberus of the enemy team and then ran off.
User in your channel timed out.
But I think indeed. Oh yeah, I just read it, it's confirmed, it's BR. Fair enough. And I think my co-host had a bit of an internet derp, hence his current absence. Anyways, yeah, the situation hasn't really changed much. Currently Salzi has been caught up by all three of the enemy ships. Tom's looks like he's gonna be able to lob in some long range shots to cover Salzi, but if we're looking at the situation right now, I don't think they'll able to actually send Salzi. Salzi's asking for the time. I think it started at 25.
User joined your channel.
Welcome back.
Well, I think you're gonna have to be the referee, judge for this end of match. I'm trying to join again. My computer just completely crashed.
The Swedes are asking how long a battle is. Is a battle 40 minutes or 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
It
It's
started
45
at
minutes, and they started 2 minutes after the entrance. So
it runs to 43. If you count it down, it stops at 43.
Yep.
I think that was what the Swedes were playing at, just seeing where the end of the timer is at. Because Salty just got completely obliterated After 3 hours of streaming, even I start to suffer and sink back into my horrible Dutch accent. But yeah, it seems like a done deal. The Swedes are just getting in close, just doing the damage. I think Salzy's even going for a surrender to save his officer. I think that's gonna be the first one in this tournament.
Well, at that point, saving your officer and maybe a bit of crew is not, it's okay. If you lost, you lost. It's losing more is not.
Nope. It has been denied. You can see his sails are back up. His sails are back up. Probably due to the fact that he had some water influx, and as soon as you take water, you can't surrender anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Or fire.
yeah. Now to recall, because I think I've actually read it in the rule list on the forum as well. That last 40 or 45 minutes. Irregardless, they wouldn't have made that limit. Because they needed to survive 2 more minutes and they would have lost on BR then.
Yep, they would have. I think they would have anyway. So they had to sink something.
Hathwill confirmed that it was BR.
Yeah, because the first decision we took was to BR sunk. The BR you have in your own team. Then we figured that teams that take like 480 BR would be at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a
we
good
decided
point.
to do BR sunk. So if you sink more BR than the other team, then you're the winner.
That's fair. That's a good policy. I don't know who's messing. Yeah, fair enough. Now this one isn't even at. It's almost at 40. It needs like 2 more minutes and then it's at 40, so they wouldn't have even made that. But yeah, it's PODW having a very tough fight on hand, but did manage to prevail. I think the initial focus down of Sveno just cost Ocean the victory. I think Ocean could have won here. What do you reckon?
I think they could have indeed. For a long time, I asked myself what team was going to win. In fact, it's Vino going down just made PODW's game.
Yep.
But maybe a bit before. But yeah, it was very close match. In fact, you said it earlier. It was the closest match we've seen so far.
I think so. We've seen some absolutely decisive victories, and they were interesting to watch to a certain extent. But seeing a match which actually drags out till the end of the battle time and is actually very close calls, much more interesting to see for me personally.
Indeed. I would like to see matches like that in the playoffs. The final stage.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Funny part is, if you were to add the side structures of all 3 PODW guys, you wouldn't even get a full ship.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Especially the right side would barely even make half.
And Tom's is still floating. My God.
Yeah, they just should go for the leaks on his weak side, which I think Vorjak is doing.